say. You always posting up pictures, trying to look like you're winning. I'm writing rhymes in the kitchen, soaking in moments we live in. Yeah, you got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG. If you got my number, don't add me, cause baby, I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. Mm, I'm on hiatus. Baby, don't check for me. Taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to be and live my life. Hey. Taking just to be and live my life. Don't take it personal. We just building. It's my season, lay foundation. Make a name for generations, please, and make a and take a break or a little vacation and chasing blues away. Hey, hey. You always posting up pictures, trying to look like you winning, or look like you always be working, soaking the moments you live in. Yeah, you got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG. If you got my number, don't add me, cause baby, I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. Baby, don't check for me. Taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to be and live my life. I'm in a place serene and pure and free. Hey, I ain't worried about what's the wave, only worry about me. Yeah. Oh, I'm taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to be and live my life.
Good evening and welcome back. I'm Teddy, and you are listening to Night Talk on this Friday, July 25th. It's just time to chill, maybe a little conversation, and tell you what's on my mind, or you can tell me what's on your mind. I've been going through some of those old videos only only this evening for about an hour before the broadcast. Yeah. And I've learned a little bit more. Yes. I see my moderators, Baby Juju and Vicky Black, saying good evening to Teddy and the mob. Happy Duckery Friday. At the bottom, I see Cups of Conversations. As a matter of fact, I listened to another video, and you were definitely the topic of a discussion. Starting beef, yeah. Now I don't think I'd listened to that one. That was a short one. It was maybe 15 minutes. But what I learned in it at the very end is Danielle says that she's anonymous because she needs to protect herself and others. So that was the first time I heard directly her say that she was protecting someone. Yes, that she was protecting someone. I thought, like, wow, I hadn't heard that. Not exactly. Yeah. And also another video. So Marcella, and she was holding, let's just say, different ones accountable for their role in the sham investigation. And she mentioned that, well, Black Rabbit was interviewing Marcella, and that Marcella basically ratted out everyone else. Okay. Yeah, she did say that. She didn't say rat them out, but she used her own, her own language. Well, she did. I told you that the receipts that Marcella showed to Black Rabbit, that uh, I let me just be careful here. I definitely think they leaned on her. Mhm. Just like another one. I didn't realize she did a 2 hour, almost a 2 hour video on Princess. She called her the queen or something of deflection. Well, I hadn't listened to that one, but there's a lot in it too. So each and every person that was on the panel or had anything to do with agreeing with Nosy Whole Life or supporting the investigation, she wanted to make sure that they were held accountable. Also, another thing that I learned, so Debonair did give an apology. Yes, Danielle said he gave an apology, but it wasn't sufficient. So he did give an apology. She said he rushed it. So he did give an apology, but it didn't meet her expectations. Also, someone, she said, one of the victims asked her to hold everyone accountable. I hadn't heard that. One of the victims, she said, asked her to hold everyone accountable. I wonder which victim of the sham investigation would that have been? Okay. So there's a lot in these videos, and going back and listening again and listening to things that I haven't heard. It's like go back to the beginning. I know I missed some things because during the investigation, I was not watching that closely in real time. I only was watching after and trying to sort through. I saw some of it, but again, not during, not even during the interview of Monique Tolbert. No. So there is a lot, and it's time stamped. And if everything were lined up, people could see really how it unfolded. And I can see how and why people became afraid of Danielle. They were absolutely afraid of her because of her holding her and Black Rabbit. See, it was the two of them together. It was during that time holding them accountable for their role in the sham investigation. That's what she called it. Mhm. Also, Plez. Plez was doxxed. Okay. I think people know about that. Who doxed Plez? Y'all know who doxed Plez. How did that happen? And why did it happen? And why was that kind of like um it wasn't as emphasized. It wasn't as emphasized. And Danielle talked about that as well when she was speaking about Princess. Mhm. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Princess said that. Well, Danielle came back and said, when talking about Plez, well, why then were others, including Princess, signing off on the doxing? Signing off on the doxing. Also, there were a number of videos. Okay, so I was just touching on different things. Let me just say this to make it clear. I who asked her? Someone asked Danielle or insinuated that I had said something about Princess. I didn't really talk about Princess. Do y'all remember me talking about Princess other than like in passing, kind of mentioning just like I did? I didn't really talk about Princess, but it was kind of dropped out there. Like, I'm like, no, that's not what happened at all. But people need to hear. I mean, if people want to hear receipts, people should hear what she had to say about different ones, if asked, so that it's cleared, so that it is cleared. All right. Um, what else was I'm not, I didn't make any notes or anything. There were just a lot of new things that I hadn't listened to. Yeah, I just like, oh, okay. That's in more detail. But yeah. So then who made her the accountability police? Because that's what it was. Now I get it. One of the victims asked Danielle to hold everyone accountable. I always wondered. I always wondered. So I knew, she was going after Nosy Whole Life, but it didn't just stop there. After Nosy Whole Life, channel was taken down. She still, one by one, her and Black Rabbit, like bookends. And yes, I talk about Black Rabbit because it was during that time. She was key. She was right there. She was right there, and it started with Marcella being interviewed by her on her panel with Sunny sitting there and listening and going over in detail of these receipts. But she said that stood out for me. One, she needed to remain anonymous for her own protection and for protecting someone else. All right. And other things. So, what's going on here? But they were doxing and they were holding accountable. They would be Danielle. She was tasked. She was asked by one of the victims. I could play it. I'm telling you, I've never heard that. Specifically, one of the victims asked her to hold everyone accountable. So that in part is one of the reasons now I see why she strategically, one by one, went through everyone, including one of the things also that has that was eating her and Black Rabbit up. I'll say it in that way. They could never really get to Sherelle and Perry. And that really got to Black Rabbit if you listen to some of her videos. Both. But it really got next to her. And knowing how she used to be with them. So whose side was she on? And why was it so important that she was so invested alongside of Danielle to hold all of these panel members and anyone else that they felt had a role, whether it was significant or insignificant. Everyone. To basically force an apology or give accountability. Danielle made a video about accountability and holding every person accountable. It's funny. She can hold people accountable. She's anonymous. But someone charged her with that responsibility. Someone, she said, one of the victims asked her to hold individuals accountable. I wonder, is that the same person who summoned her to come to the YouTube? Or was she already here? I think so. One of the reasons I think so, there's various reasons. There was an account that was created in 2020. Okay. It was there was actually a couple of accounts. Let me not go off base here because there are a couple of accounts. I just My belief is she was already familiar before she landed, and she came with a purpose. And I think perhaps, well, she said it, one of the victims. So that would have been before she came, that she was in touch with one of the victims, right? She said there were 17. She did. And she said, I'm not a family member of this one, and you need to think of other ways that I could be connected. That's her words. So, what brought her here? She said she came to what? For vengeance, because Nosy Whole Life hurt someone that she loved. So the person that she loved, the victim, one of the victims that she loved, this is the only way I think about it. Now, hearing what I heard tonight, it was one of the victim that she loved, compelled her, I think. Why else? Why else? Why else would she just drop out of the sky? I have receipts. So challenge the receipts. And this story has been talked about. Okay. This is all related to, for some people who are new, maybe never heard of this, unmasking the avatar. It was in 2021, all about the tea and who was connected to that, and how Danielle came to this platform, how all that came to be, how it unfolded, and why there might be still unanswered questions, even after this much time. But again, these videos are very telling. And I just have not watched all these videos. And people say, well, why do you have them? Because I thought one day I would watch them. Mhm. Mhm. And for me, it's just easier that I don't have to, go to someone's channel if I want to watch like a series of videos, that I just have them, at least the ones that I was interested in. I didn't save everyone's videos as people might think. No, there were certain ones I was interested in. Yeah, but it's yeah. Hmm. Wow. Look at that. 24 minutes, and I thought I was going to play part of this chill music, R&B. Yeah, but I saw Cup's name at the bottom and remembered that, yeah, there was another video that I hadn't even, um, didn't even know about. Yeah. So what do you think? Wow. Now, that story and all of that, it's easy for me to talk about It is. Yeah, I have nothing in front of me except the memories and what I can try to recall from tonight. So all of that didn't come from just one video. Okay. Like I've said, a number of these videos, some were long and some weren't. And I don't just, start with each one and play them all the way through. I might see something and I want to click on and say, wow, what was going on there? Yeah. And I absolutely look for like the comments that are at the bottom. And there are a lot of familiar avatars, lots of, I'll say, troll accounts. Yeah. In other people's chats, now that I see things, I can recognize things. Yeah. So, what do you think? Were we going to talk about this tonight? It's Friday. Yeah. You never know what you're going to get on Mine with Teddy. And yeah, it's night talk, and it's not D for anything tonight. It's just night talk. Yeah. hmm hmm So let me go ahead and shout out some of you and see what your comments are. And you can also email me if you have a request for a song. You know what? There was somebody in the last time I played like music and you could request that at the end of the broadcast, I didn't look and someone had a request and I didn't play it. So if you are out there listening, I can't remember who. I'd have to go back. Yeah, if you want to, or if you just want to talk, that's all I'm doing. And in the background, yeah, look, it was kind of like that the other night. Yeah, lots of rain and wind. Yeah. So yes, the bookends. Yes, they were bookends. hmm Also, Princess. Back to Princess. So here's what I see there. So in her commentary, Danielle's commentary about Princess, mhm, what did you call it? Princess of Deflection or something like that. What made her think, and I'm talking about Danielle, she was frustrated. And the reason I know she was frustrated because she kept mentioning it. She was frustrated on some level with Princess because she thought Princess, or not only thought, she was more like declarative, that she was holding on to receipts, even though she had shared or admitted certain, things like if I did this, if, and that was really frustrating to Danielle because she came back. It's not if, you did this, you signed off on this, and you have receipts that she hadn't shared. And that just really, like, how did Danielle think that she was going to force all of these panelists to, you know, share whatever they knew or their, she called Princess, like, you said you were part of the All Star. And Princess kept saying, like, Every time someone would bring up the panelists, why were they bringing up her name with So Deb, Marcella, and then Princess? That was that was irritating to her because of the way she made a point of it. Why did she have to be included? And so Danielle came back in her explanation. Well, you're part of the All Stars, you were there, even if it was in a limited way. But it frustrated her that she felt Princess was holding on, that she hadn't just, put everything out there. So one by one, that I still think that's why Marcella came forward with the receipts, because Rabbit leaned on her. And the reason I know it was Rabbit, because Danielle said she wasn't going to say much until Rabbit, as she called her, came out with her part 2 interview with Marcella. She wasn't going to have any commentary on it. So then it was Rabbit, Black Rabbit, who went after Marcella, yes, on the front end. And then even gave a warning. Black Rabbit, like, to the panelists, like, you don't want to have to deal with Danny. And that, to me, sitting on the outside and listening to this, was sort of like a subtle reminder. Like, you see what we're doing. You see what happened to Nosy Whole Life. You see what happened to this one. You don't want to have to deal with Danny. So basically, you need to come clean. Who were these people? I mean, think about this. Who were these people? And when I say it like that, like, you're a content creator. You're on this platform. Why do they owe you an explanation if it's a double standard, where when they are challenged about anything, it's zipped lips, like they're off limits? It's the power that people give or gave to them. It was the fear that was installed on this platform. It was the consequences that people were seeing. It was doxing, heavy doxing, and a penalty that would be paid. And it was rampant, and it was out there, and it was in your face. And that carried and was impressionable. It was like being seared in the memories of the people who were around at that time. By the way, okay, so I'm just talking. Maybe I shouldn't say so much. Yeah. Okay, I said I was going to read some comments, but you've caught me, and I just feel like I could say a few things, about that. Just kind of like, yeah, matter of fact, this is what it was. I have the receipts. You can't dispute it. Um, People don't know that, you know. And another thing, so people were saying at that time, Danielle and Rabbit, hold people accountable and show receipts, and that Danielle shows receipts. She always shows receipts. There is, well, several things, but one that is important and it's relating to me. Never has she shown any receipt, though she accused me directly of being Tammy the Machine Robertson. Never once did she show receipts. No one, ever, 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 ever. And that was the big lie. Why do I continue to say it? Because that was the big lie. Why doesn't anyone hold her accountable for the lies? Receipts, that's a challenge. Bring receipts. Because I can see she was holding everybody else accountable. hmm And it's that way today. That hasn't changed. It's a double standard. It's a double standard. It would be different if it weren't, but it's a double standard. It is. All right. So let me just pause. I said I read some comments. And there it is. Almost 40 minutes, you see. Let's see. It's 11:07. No music for Friday night. Let me start at the top and see who is here. Yes, I've already shouted out my moderators. We've got FIBA and who else? Cups, Angie. Um, Protecting who? Yes. Protecting who? That's on that 15-minute video where she's talking about cups. But it's at the end. I'm almost tempted to sneak over there. There's no sneaking here. I just play it. I'm very transparent. So that's just a way of saying it. Because I know you're listening, aren't you? Okay. He can't get it past them because somebody is going to either record it for them. Yeah, they've got their I spies out here. That's what I mean by sneaking over. You're not going to get one past them. You've never seen the video? I didn't see it either. I didn't know I had that one. Yeah. Baby Juju says, I remember that one too. How do you remember some? I don't remember any of these. Well, I didn't. I wasn't following them in real time. No, I wasn't. Some of them I remember, but others, yeah, I didn't. Clock it, yeah. Um, Baby Juju again. They really didn't come down on her as much as others. No, she mentioned that if you're talking about Princess, she mentions that although she everybody had to hear. Yeah, yeah. And mm, mhm. And Princess didn't have a problem with saying, okay, this is what it was. And yeah, she said a few things. Yeah, she thought that at a point that the investigation that it wasn't a bad thing. Yeah, but you gotta see she was part of that panel. And maybe for her she saw how the others, you know, were affected. And wait a minute, here's another thing about that. Just kind of remembering. So Daniel made it seem that Princess was going back and forth with Black Rabbit, like she reached out to her. She didn't. And the reason I say that is because things are timestamped. Black Rabbit reached out to the panel members first because she wanted someone to speak on behalf of Tolbert, Miss Tolbert, not being the avatar. And one by one, she went down the list. And she DM'd Princess. And Princess didn't say that much to her and to Rabbit. And she was frustrated. She was frustrated because she was trying to hold someone accountable for Miss Tolbert because she had interviewed Miss Tolbert. So she took it personally. Mhm. After she had inserted herself. Yeah. And she had to. She was looking for someone from the panelists. And when no one would say, for sure that Monique Tolbert, no, she's not the avatar. At the time when she was reaching out. Okay. So Deb, Princess, Marcella, I'll just say the minister, because for some reason I can't remember his name on the panel. Black Rabbit admitted it was frustrating. She did. And that's when she reached out to what was the troll? Iron Troll. Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh. Because she needed something. And then that's how it was brought forward that Iron Troll said the name of Kenya Harris. Mhm. And then she could come back and say, here is someone credible. But she was looking for someone closer. someone, the panelist, someone who was there with Monica every single, you know, time when they were on the panel. Yeah. So they were frustrated. They were like, you didn't stand up. That was to the panelists. You could have said something. Now, wow, I could say a lot, but it was very, very frustrating. Hmm. Yeah. Why? Oh, because it was personal for someone. Okay, let me go. Let me go now. Yes, so Deb, he did give an apology. And that would contradict another video where he was accused of not giving Miss Tolbert an apology. Vindication. He gave her an apology. Um, they wanted him to be investigated by the CV. One of the victims, yes. MT, definitely a lot. And it is that reason why. Oh, I mean, people just don't move like they move for no reason, do they? Unless it's personal. Hmm. Let's see. Viva, were you around? It's not me. Good evening. Yeah, on a Friday night. Uh, Cup says, I didn't watch any of their videos, so I'm interested to learn more. You, you know, um, you see what happened when you came up on the platform just to, all I ask is just, tell me what you remember. Yeah, that it was you were just sharing your story from 2022, and somehow it ended up being included your name. That is just amazing to me. Yeah. Baby Juju said, I was watching everything in real time. That's how you. Okay. Yes, but the pattern is there. I dropped the bomb today. uh, just a little, what's that? Emoji. Yeah. Let's see. We've got Rye. Reading in silence. Um, BHT. Yeah, I was I was not watching when Plez was doxxed. Was it subtle? I mean, how do you do a subtle doxing? Um, what I mean by that, was it like, did she just come out and say something, or was it related to, well, remember she was talking, if she would have called me, or I was waiting that on the weekend to hear from her, she could have called me. What part of it? Was it her phone number? Was it her business? What was it? Because I don't know. I'm not asking for the detail. Just how was she allegedly doxxed? If you know, it was on All About the Tea. Was it the week of right after Ples left the panel? And um, was someone else on the? I mean, was there a panel when it happened? Or again, I didn't really watch Monica All About the Tea. So it was during Dr. Tuna. I don't know why people call her Tuna either. But why why would it have been then? You mean like when she was interviewed, when that doctor guest interviewed Monica? Because who did she talk about? Did she talk about So Deb on that one too? I'd have to replay it. hmm Please remember to hit the like. Can you do that? It's not me, says, yep. All About the Tea was ignoring her calls and leaving her on a read about reducing to 1 day. Yes, on the panel. Yes, when she had offered her that, right? Then she doxed her. It was calculated for the PhD to do it so that she wouldn't be blamed. Okay. Again, I know I missed that. Cup says, well, we know only two victims said they wanted everyone to be held accountable. Yes. Yes. I do know one. Yes. hmm So that would mean they would be in touch, directly in touch with the that individual somehow. Yeah. They got that message to them, right? She said it. I heard it tonight. I did for the first time. Admit it. Yeah. The bookends. And hello, Bush babies out there. Yeah, multiple voice changers. So you may have asked the question about the voice box. So if you missed it, I played where you could hear audible, recognizable, the use of a voice box during a broadcast. So that's what she first used. Mhm. Then later, it would become, um, the AI text to speech. Mhm. Yeah. And you could hear clearly, yeah, it was very recognizable. Yeah, still waiting for the lawsuit that was supposedly to be filed on Nosy Ho Live. Yeah. Hmm. Love wins. You are watching from your big screen. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Um, no, that was a voice changer. Mhm. And a Black Rabbit has used a voice changer too. Yeah, she has. Is in one of her videos. I mean, you can hear her clearly. Going from asking a question um, in her own voice, and then the voice changer would come on. Yeah, that was a short clip that I have. Hmm. But maybe there's more. I don't know. Someone said that they're they've heard it. Another, yeah, but eh, when I mentioned at the beginning channels that were created in a channel that was created, the voice box was used. Mhm. Yeah, yeah. So you know, it's just like these fake um, social media sites that were created. So, troll pages were created and used, but not just troll pages, they were impersonation pages. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. All comments are allegedly, and the opinions of the chat are their own. Um, I'm looking at a comment. I don't know if it's meant for me to read it or let me just look. Okay. Okay. All right. So if you just sent an email, I answered it. What were you sending something to make me laugh? All right. So back to this chat. Let's see. You know what? I didn't even put it up. I could have put the chat up alongside of the picture there. And that way I wouldn't have to go back and forth. But that was an hour ago. Can you believe it? I've been on, I have been on now for, it will be 1 hour in about 20 seconds. Exactly. And it's 11:30. Yeah, I came on at 10:30. Hmm. That's it. Yeah. Biggest bear hugs go out to all the grizzlies and the honey bears. Please, on your way out, hit the like. And if you care to, you can email me at unwinewithteddy@gmail.com. That will do it for me. Oh, yeah. Keep your bear phones on. And I'll probably come on this weekend. I'll see. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Teddy. Good night.
It's not my fault. You've been lying, saying that I took away your peace. Drowning by yourself, now you wanna blame me. Like you have no options. I ain't take your options. Now I'm not the problem. Man, that's on you, yeah. You've been terrorizing me, yeah, I'm always wrong. I knew you lost your mind when you dropped that bomb. Girl, are you crazy? Yeah, you must be crazy. I've been thinking lately it's you. You stole your peace, put it on me, but baby, it's you. Lie like a ride, but take your stuff back, baby, it's you, 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 baby, it's you, you, what did you think? What did you could say whatever and I would never hear. You've been flexing everywhere. Girl, look in the mirror. Man, you so dirty. Yeah, you look so dirty. You were never worthy. Lately, it's you. You stole your peace, put it on me. But baby, it's you. Lie like a ride, but take your stuff back. Baby, it's you, 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 baby, it's you, 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 you. Oh, if I control the weather, then every day would rain on your parade. Shine, you can't change, yeah. If I was Father Time, then I would change the day. So I never saw your face. Please, what do I have to do to make you go? Oh, baby, it's you, you, it's you, it's you, it's you, you. Walk out that door, no, yeah.